boys and girls. This is the Undisputed Era. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and you're listening to Going In Raw, baby.
Hey guys, this is Charlotte, and you're watching Going In Raw. Going In Raw. That sounds terrible.
What's up? It's your girl, Sasha Banks, the Legit Boss, and you are watching Going In Raw. You like that?
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson, and available wherever podcasts can be found. We're also on the Patreon at patreon.com/Steve and Larson. We have a variety of reward tiers there, including the $5 mark, which we get, you get lots of bonus content, 5 bonus episodes per week. And then over here on the YouTube, we've also started offering channel memberships where you get the same access to that bonus content as the $5 and up patrons do. That's $5 also. It also gets you access to all sorts of badges and emotes there in the live stream chat. So if you enjoy the live Going In Raw experience, yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
You can check that out, and it's a lot of fun.
It is.
We got the Mr. Miz, the baked potato face, squaring up as our latest emote.
We do.
So that's a lot of fun.
It is. It is
anyways,
a lot of fun. Today is Friday. It's Friday morning. If you're watching this right when it goes live, that means it's news day, Steve.
It's news day.
News day.
Nothing to recap today.
No.
Except the news.
Well, I guess G1, because we didn't do that earlier in the week, and we just kind of more or less finished watching it. Right before we started.
Yeah, literally before we started, we finished watching.
Yes.
So we're going to talk a little bit about that. So I guess we are going to recap that today.
Yes, we are.
But there's been...
Not in long form, though. It's going to be kind of a brief recap.
Yeah, it's just going to be our general thoughts. You know, Ring of Honor especially, they are going through a bit of a rebuilding phase. They're really, honestly, it feels like they're really figuring out what the heck they want to be.
Mm-hmm.
And we got the first sort of, we got some evidence of that at G1 Supercard.
Mm-hmm.
New Japan, I feel they know exactly who they are.
Oh, yes.
I mean, they're just magnifique.
They know their identity, and they do it very well.
They do it very, very well. Regardless, it was an interesting show.
Yes. But before we get to that, let's talk about this. This broke this morning. We're doing this Thursday afternoon.
Yeah.
And PW Insider is the first report on this. They did so Thursday, as I mentioned. Quote, WWE Hall of Famer Brian James. Who's that? Oh, you didn't know? Oh, it's the Road Dogg. Informed WWE yesterday that he was stepping down as the co-lead writer of the SmackDown brand. PWInsider.com has confirmed multiple sources. Sources cited James' increasing frustration with changes made to the SmackDown scripting by Vince McMahon, with James finally hitting a, quote, breaking point at this past Tuesday's SmackDown taping in Brooklyn, New York. So PW Insider also adds that James is basically one of 2 lead writers on SmackDown. He handles the duties while on the road, and then Steven Guerreri fills the same role, but in Stamford.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Additionally, PW Insider reports, quote, there is no word who may be replacing James in the role, although several WWE sources stated that the way creative is currently driven, the lead writer is more of a formality today versus a specific voice that drives the show, as everything pitched comes through the team for that series to Vince McMahon, is then approved or shot down by McMahon, who then tweaks the series all the way to the actual taping as late as during the taping. And then Pro Wrestling Sheet has some additional details, kind of in maybe adding some more detail and complexity maybe to the situation than initially reported. They add that while Road Dogg will no longer be one of the lead writers on SmackDown, he will be staying with the company, saying, quote, sources tell us it was a mutual decision to change Brian's position with the impending move to Fox on the horizon and not necessarily him stepping down. We're told WWE wants to keep his position flexible at this time and use him as a utility player so they can see where he'd fit best going forward, and adds, our sources made it clear, however, this wasn't a contentious decision and all parties involved thought it was best. So
he also, Brian G. James himself, who's he again?
He's an Armstrong.
No, he just said, oh, you didn't know?
Oh, you didn't know?
Yeah.
He's an Armstrong.
Yeah. He tweeted this out. He tweeted this out this morning. Today I pray that I can relax and breathe through every step I take and every task I take on. Too often I'm a bundle of nerves and anxiety, like a duck on a pond. Underneath the water, its feet are going 90 miles per hour. Hashtag hope. Hashtag faith. Hashtag OUDK.
Oh, you didn't know?
I can only assume means, oh, you didn't know. So the thing that strikes me there is when he says, too often I'm a bundle of nerves and anxiety. That right there really should be whenever WWE posts posts a job listing for creative on LinkedIn.
Yes, I should say, can you handle being a ball of anxiety and nerves?
Right. If you can't, that's probably not the job for you. He's been doing this for a while.
Yes.
And that's been public knowledge for a while.
Yes.
And it's not just been public knowledge, it's been in the fans' realm for a while. And so when things go sour on SmackDown, which granted, SmackDown has been excellent for a long period of time now.
Yeah, better part of the last year.
But during the periods when it was not so great, he would hear it a lot from the fans. He is on the front lines of people because everybody knows him due to the fame he got when he was actually wrestling,
and everybody knows that he was high in the creative hierarchy on SmackDown as well.
Right. He was an easy target,
and
for
he makes
fans.
himself very presentable on Twitter.
He does as
he
well.
He will engage with people on Twitter. Has no problem with it.
He does. But the job in general just sounds like it's.
It sounds like it can be hellish.
It really does.
Long hours.
Seems like it's a lot of stress.
I was listening to one of the recent Something to Wrestle With, and of course Bruce Pritchard's back working with the company, and he was talking about some creative meetings they had in the lead up to Mania. I believe it was on that, where like they would start the meeting at like 11 at night and go till late, early in the morning, and only have to have a wake up call early.
Yeah.
That same morning, like at 7 or something like that.
Yeah.
It's insane. The schedule is pretty insane. So what kind of role maybe does WB have in store for Road Dogg? Pro Wrestling Sheet suggests it could maybe be something along the lines of what Arn Anderson was doing, producing live events, working out matches, or maybe step behind the commentary table.
That's interesting.
I mean, he's a good talker.
They have a lot of he is. No, I'm sure he'd be killer at commentary. They have a lot of people that could be. Let's see. Nigel does NXT and 205. I'd love to see Nigel on like SmackDown.
Oh, hell yeah, man.
I don't know. I'd really love to see that. I think there's a lot of people they have, or a couple people anyways that they have on commentary that could do that. I mean, I wonder if it's a matter of him just recognizing, hey, he's been doing this for a while, and at a certain time, at a certain age, it's like, man.
I mean, he's been. I think he was brought on the SmackDown creative team, if I remember correctly, after the brand split in 2016. And he's been kind of doing it ever since.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it's high stress position.
I think you're probably right about that. He has kids, right?
Oh, I don't know.
I'm not sure. Oh, you're not sure?
Not.
Yeah. And then on top of that, do you have the notes here about the other dude who got fired?
Yeah, this is an odd story. So at the Hall of Fame ceremony, Bret Hart's speech, as if it wasn't weird enough, him getting attacked by someone from the crowd.
Wearing a Rastafarian hat.
Yeah, and then subsequently getting beat up by Travis Brown, Davey Boy Smith Jr., and a little bit later, Dash Wilder. Apparently, Bret's Hall of Fame speech somehow led to a WB writer quitting. So the story is, for some background, if you're delivering a Hall of Fame speech, you're not supposed to mention Vince McMahon.
Right.
Specifically in his role as actually being like a sort of backstage person in the company. Like, I guess the only the most important time to adhere to kayfabe is during the Hall of Fame speeches.
Right.
And you're only supposed to refer to Vince McMahon, I guess, as Mr. McMahon as a character.
Yeah.
He doesn't want any reference to him owning the company, having a sort of authority role within the company, which I don't understand. It's public knowledge.
Well, this is me.
Especially people who are going to be watching the Hall of Fame ceremony.
This is pure speculation on my part. Number one, do we know what his gripe with people referring to him is?
I don't know what the nature of that is, no.
Okay. If I had to guess, it would be, let's face it, every damn person who gets up there should be thanking Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
That's the reason they are literally there at the Hall of Fame, because it's just up to him.
Yeah.
B, everybody who's had a career in WWE owes that career to Vince.
Yeah.
And I would imagine he wouldn't want it to get like that could easily turn into every year and pay homage to Vince McMahon thing, because every single person up there would be thanking Vince McMahon, and he probably just doesn't want that to be the case.
That's interesting.
I don't know. That's what he doesn't strike me as the kind of guy who needs, like, I think, I don't know. I don't think he needs.
It'd be a kind of a rare act of humility from Vince McMahon.
I think that Vince puts the show first, and I think that, he doesn't even like being on TV right now. That much is obvious,
yeah.
you know? And I understand. I know it's silly to think that he wouldn't want anything to be McMahon heavy.
Yeah.
But I think in this case, I've stopped even trying with that. In this case, the redundancy of it would be essentially it'd be an episode of Raw in which Vince McMahon is literally in every segment.
No,
of
I
the
understand
show.
that, but for a lot of these wrestlers, pretty much all of them, Vince at various points, I'm sure, would be so important to their careers. Like, I'm not saying, who got inducted this year? For Bret Hart. It was one mention of him.
Yeah.
It wasn't like the whole speech was centered around, well, Vince did this for me. To say no mention whatsoever seems extreme.
The second aspect of it is, you're right, and this situation here is bizarre. But the second aspect of it is, for some of these wrestlers, each year there are wrestlers who would maybe want to humorously try to roast Vince a little bit.
Yeah.
And he probably wouldn't want it turning into that either.
No, I understand that.
And so, given that now to us, it's odd that he would be so enraged that, one of the top superstars of all time, Bret Hart, would name drop Vince McMahon, that he would get to the point of firing a writer. And apparently this writer quit before that was possible.
Yeah.
But apparently he was so enraged that just sort of speaks to his nature of wanting to control every aspect of the company.
Yes.
That is weird.
Yeah.
But that's just Vince McMahon.
But then later on, during DX's induction, they were saying Vince's name all over the place.
As a joke, based apparently off of what had happened already with Bret.
Yeah.
So
is that Triple H saying, can't do anything about us, Vince, huh?
Yeah, but needling somebody after, and I don't know if they even knew at the time that the dude was getting fired or he was going to quit.
It would seem an odd circumstance if they went to that degree, saying Vince's name over and over after referencing the fact that Vince doesn't like being mentioned in Hall of Fame speeches without knowing what had happened earlier the night.
Unless it was an escalating situation. Vince was pissed off, and then they went out and did that. And then after that, they understood that the situation was this guy's about to get fired.
Oh, maybe.
But I don't know. Wrestling is really weird.
It's weird.
So who knows?
Ribs being done all the time, so who knows? Anyways, the producer name we're talking about is Robert Evans, who quit before he could be fired, seemingly, who produced the Hart Foundation induction. I don't know how hands-on he was with the speech, whether he was with Bret writing it, wrote it for him, gave him guidelines to follow. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, it could be a situation where, could you imagine the nightmare of this? Imagine if you're sitting there with Bret, legend, right?
Yeah.
And
Natalia's there too.
And Bret says, "Okay, so what here's some ideas I have for a speech." And this Evans kid, writes up something nice for him. And he gets in there. He says, "Oh, you didn't put, I wanted to make sure we got Vince in there, And he's like, "Well,
we can't do that.
Vince is, how weird he is. Yeah, but I really want to do it. It's okay. It's okay. It's on me. So Bret goes out there, and what are you going to say? No, Bret, you can't do it.
I know.
Well, you're the dude who's responsible for that stuff. Mm-hmm. And so, Bret does it. Vince is mad. And, what are you going to do? Bret just did it, man. What do you want? Bret just did it. Mm-hmm. This dude, number one, this guy's probably so tired of that crap. He was probably just waiting for any opportunity to quit. Look at how he quit. Or look at how he publicly did it. He put out he could have written that in a tweet.
Well, he says, "I quit," and then he has his grocery list underneath.
Yeah.
That's the statement.
Like, I don't care.
It says eggs, Parmesan, tater tots,
Balloons.
and buffalo sauce.
He was, I mean, that to me, he's excited about that.
Yeah.
He was ready to get out of that place.
Entirely possible.
You know. So, I don't know, man. Has he said anything else since then? Oh, no, I guess not. Was that the last tweet he had?
Yeah.
So, yeah. But apparently, according to, so what was the details on the actual, so Vince got mad at Gorilla, at the Gorilla position during the ceremony.
Yeah. And then was the initial report was that he was fired on the spot while the Hall of Fame ceremony was actually happening.
That was the initial report. I thought there was a follow-up where...
Well, it was him saying, I quit. And then it was later on, it was said that it was probably a situation where he was faced with being fired and said, well, I'm not going to let you fire me. I quit.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I think you have a better chance of getting unemployment if you get fired, though.
Maybe it depends on the circumstances of your firing, I believe.
Right there on the unemployment application, I allowed Bret Hart to say Vince McMahon during his Hall of Fame speech.
I don't know if they'd understand the complexities of that rationale, man.
You're probably right. Oh boy, oh boy.
You might think, okay, well, how does that concern us? Decline next.
Oh man, but all this, I don't know which brand or if he worked for a specific brand.
Yeah, I have no idea.
And Mr. Evans was a part of. However, that along with Road Dogg shifting roles all play into the idea that SmackDown, there will be changes made. We'll talk about those in a moment.
Yes.
Before we move on, though, here's a word from the sponsor for today's episode, HelloFresh. HelloFresh is a meal kit delivery service that shops, plans, and delivers step-by-step recipes and pre-measured ingredients to your door.
HelloFresh does all the planning, shopping, and prepping and makes conquering the kitchen a reality and allows you to spend less time meal planning and grocery shopping. Also, each meal takes about 30 minutes to cook and calls for less than 2 pots and pans, which I love because that means minimal cleanup.
That's the best. HelloFresh offers 3 meal plans to choose from, classic, veggie, or family, and you can switch between the options whenever you like. Get out of the recipe rut and start cooking outside your comfort zone by discovering new, delicious recipes with HelloFresh.
We had a chance to try HelloFresh, and it's our favorite meal kit delivery service. The wide variety of recipes offered is impressive, and the food, fantastic. I especially love the honey ancho chicken. And right now, friendos can take advantage of HelloFresh's special offer. Get $80 off your first month by going to HelloFresh.com/goinginraw80 and using promo code GOINGINRAW80. That's all one word.
Yeah, you can get $20 off your first 4 boxes by going to HelloFresh.com/goinginraw80 and entering promo code GOINGINRAW80.
Thanks to HelloFresh for sponsoring today's show, and you're really helping out Going In Raw by going to HelloFresh.com/goinginraw80 and using promo code GOINGINRAW80, all one word.
So, like I said, huge changes possibly coming to SmackDown beyond the creative team upheaval. Triple H and Stephanie spoke about what the future of SmackDown holds with its move to Fox during a recent interview with Sports Business Journal. Now, this is a story that was originally on WrestleZone.
Yeah, transcripts are courtesy of them, yes.
Right, exactly. Let's see. She said this.
Stephanie did.
There's definitely going to be differences. We haven't made any announcements formally, but we are so excited to be partnering with Fox and to be on USA. We're sandwiched between the NFL. You've got Thursday Night Football, SmackDown on Friday, college football on Saturday, and Sunday is NFL. You can't get a better platform to help support WWE. Fox has been a wonderful partner already. And then Triple H added, there are contractual requirements to provide that level of exposure for us, but they've already got above and beyond that. As this goes forward, they will just rise that type of activity across the board. Fundamentally, as a company, we constantly reimagine ourselves. So we're deep in the process now of figuring out what the reimagined version of SmackDown will be.
Of course, we've heard previously that they're going to tailor the presentation of SmackDown to fit in with Fox Sports, whether it just means aesthetically. We don't know whether it means they're going to refocus how the show is actually booked to make it more like sports. I don't know.
Which is also something that parallels what All Elite Wrestling, multiple people, including Jim Ross, have said. I believe Cody too, about All Elite Wrestling.
That wins and losses matter. There might actually be like not leaderboards, but rankings like UFC has,
and the SmackDown top 10 list, of course.
Yeah,
which was ever important to
we remember that, don't we?
Yeah, that was awesome. Remember how long they harped on that? It was
like
that,
3 weeks.
It was like that one list, and they kept on going back.
I know, and it played a role in one feud, and then it quickly fizzled.
That's awesome. So, yeah, I don't know, man. Power rank. Top 5 things they can change about SmackDown Live.
Number 5, Cletus, the robot.
Well, that should be number 1, but okay, number 5.
1 through 5 then. Cletus.
Yeah.
Bring Cletus, the NFL robot.
So, like, when Triple H say they've gone above and beyond to start promoting it, there was a mention on an NFL broadcast? Something like that?
Maybe, but they did like a commercial of what you can expect. And SmackDown was included in that.
That's cool. And then, so we need Cletus.
We need Cletus,
How about this? No more picture-in-picture. Like, just get rid of commercials during matches. Somehow figure that out. I don't know how. Don't care.
Yeah, they don't interrupt the NFL games with commercials during plays.
Less
generally speaking,
commercials, but higher price sponsors.
There you go. More dollars per spot, but fewer spots.
Right, exactly.
Yes, more time for wrestlers to wrestle.
So there's 2 things: Cletus, and then no commercial breaks during matches.
Terry Bradshaw is the new general manager of SmackDown Live.
I would actually like that. I think
that's a good idea.
That's a good idea.
With Howie Long as his enforcer.
Obviously.
Yes.
Yeah, but they don't know any. Well, Howie knows all the names. Terry doesn't know anybody's name.
He doesn't know anybody. He doesn't know anybody.
Let's see here. So those are good ones. Fox. Some maybe integration with Married with Children.
That show's not on anymore, Steve.
Interesting.
Simpsons somehow is, though.
Yeah, that's weird. I was watching some shoot interviews with Ed O'Neill and Amanda Bierce.
Oh, really?
Apparently they did not like each other. Kind of interesting.
So the tension between him and Marcy Darcy was real, huh?
Yeah, some of the stuff he was saying, too, was so, like, just old man stuff. But it was pretty funny. Some of it was pretty funny. So anyways, yeah, those are 3 good suggestions right there. And then, I don't know. What's on Fox now? What's on Fox these days? What's on Fox tonight? What is it, Thursday? What's on Fox on Thursday night?
I have no idea.
Fox schedule.
I don't really watch TV, apart from wrestling.
Here we go, Thursday. Well, it's not football now.
Oh, that's the upfront.
I want now.
Now.
Let's see here. Okay.
When is the Orville on?
Tonight.
Oh, wow.
At 9 o'clock. And before, Gotham is on tonight.
Oh, okay. I thought isn't this the last season of Gotham, though?
Yeah, I think it's on its last couple episodes.
So have WB superstars appear on Fox programming, like the Orville.
Or Gotham.
Although it's probably already all shot.
Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, no, this is the Orville in Gotham.
It's their primetime programming.
And at 10, it just says primetime starts at 8, 7. So I don't know what that means.
That's probably because local news probably at 10 on the Fox network.
Oh, yeah, it is. You're right.
And then after that is the syndicated programming.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting stuff. So, yeah, but it's going to be on, it's going to be on Fridays.
Fridays.
Right.
I hope it's live on the West Coast.
Me too.
So it'll be 5 o'clock. That'd be great, but then they have to preempt local news, which the affiliates might have an issue with.
Well, they would just treat it like they do football, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's fine. Just treat it like football. If they want a more sports-oriented thing, it has to be live.
Yeah.
Like, what the heck?
Yeah. Yeah, I know. That'd be a huge part of the presentation. I'd be all about that. That way I have to come in the office at 7 o'clock Friday night to come do a recap. Or start watching at 7 o'clock, come at 9 o'clock, I should say. Or
yeah,
8
exactly.
to 10, whatever the case may be.
Come in at 7, do the recap. Don't have to worry about whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll boost our SmackDown recap numbers. You know.
Let me go do that and go out and grab some beers.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Every Friday night, get hammered.
Speaking of other television broadcasts,
this is a pretty big deal.
This is pretty huge. All Elite Wrestling. We may have just learned who their broadcast partner is going to be, courtesy of Twitter user The Fight Oracle.
The Oracle of Fight.
The Oracle of Fight, indeed. He said, or they said, quote, Warner Media Group, a.k.a. Turner Sports, who is TNT, They Know Drama. TBS, very funny. Will present All Elite Wrestling at their upfronts to advertisers next month. Warner Media Turner upfronts are currently scheduled for May 15th, so about a month. This is how networks announce their content lineup for the fall season to advertisers. And he added later on, quote, word is All Elite Wrestling will debut the same week as SmackDown moving to Fox. AEW will be on Tuesday, so the Tuesday night Dynamite trademark seems to be coming to fruition. The Wrap, shortly after these tweets from The Fight Oracle, reported, quote, Turner is in advanced talks with upstart professional league All Elite Wrestling for a weekly television show, likely on TNT.
They know drama.
A person with knowledge of the negotiations told The Wrap.
Very funny.
The Wrap continues. The insider said the deal is definitely not signed. They know drama.
They know that is drama.
That is
right
drama.
there.
Several wrestling blogs reported Wednesday night that the agreement between All Elite and Turner, which is now owned by AT&T, is a done deal.
Very funny.
The conversations surrounding the deal are pretty complex and not imminent, the individual said, while having a pact to announce by Turner's mid-May upfront, an annual event where TV platforms debut their new programming to potential advertisers would be ideal is not a definite. They know drama.
They know drama.
And then Dave Meltzer confirmed the Wrap reporting.
Very funny.
Yeah, I know. All Elite Wrestling is in talks with Turner on a broadcast deal that could see pro wrestling return to the airways the first time in 18 years. However, there's no signed deal as of now.
Ooh,
they know drama.
Very funny drama.
That'd be pretty huge, man.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be great. I mean, that's like the first name that springs to mind when we've been talking about this whole thing.
Yeah.
Where should they go? The former home of WCW.
Heck yes, man.
Is that one guy who didn't want wrestling? Is he gone? That's got to be key to this.
Yeah, that was like 20 years ago, so I'm guessing he's not there anymore.
Where is AOL in all this?
Oh, they're all wrapped up in the huge Time Warner deal, man. They're all part of this huge multinational corporation here.
Yeah.
They're all wrapped up. I mean, AOL still exists, so.
That's so weird.
It is. It
People
is weird.
My dad still uses AOL, which is not surprising. You got mail.
Got mail.
Never ceases to amuse me whenever I'm at his house and I just hear from my older room, which is now his office. You got mail. I'm like, oh, Dad. So, yeah, Turner, that's cool on Tuesday nights.
Replacing
big deal.
SmackDown.
That's bigly, man. That's bigly. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you can do pretty good numbers there.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder what the ratings are for. I don't know what's there now. It's probably like a rerun of Law and Order.
Seinfeld.
I'm curious to see what it does now, though. TNT ratings.
I guess some original programming there, though.
Tuesday.
Isn't that show with Chris Pine on TNT?
There's a show with Chris Pine?
Yeah, it's like a period drama with him. Yeah.
Really?
I think it's about the Black Dahlia murder, too.
Tuesday cable ratings. Let's see. Oh, wait, hold on a second. There's TNT TV show ratings. Let's see if this gives me anything here. Because I'm kind of curious what's there now and what do they do? Like, what can we kind of expect? TNT TV show, that does not help me at all.
I Am the Night. Yeah, it's on TNT.
Really?
Yeah, it's a miniseries.
This dude said no to Star Trek, and he's on a TNT show? He's got a big head. Like, physically speaking.
There's a lot of hair there, too.
He's got a big head.
But I don't know when it's on. My wife watches it. It's the only reason I know
when
it
is
exists.
The Alienist on?
I don't know. Ask him on Twitter, Steve.
Okay, well, here. Okay, I'll just give you some context. The Alienist had about 1.7, almost 1.8 million viewers.
Well, on Monday nights, at least earlier this year, I Am the Night was on.
What kind of, okay. Oh, I Am the Night?
Yeah.
That would pull in about 1 million viewers. I would suspect that All Elite Wrestling is cheaper to produce than a drama like that.
Oh, heck yeah, man.
You would think so?
I would think so.
I would
got
think
some good
so,
directors on I Am the Night, too. Carl Franklin and Patty Jenkins. Wow. Good talent.
Cable ratings Tuesday night. Let's see what TNT has going on right now. TV by the numbers.
Is it a Law and Order rerun?
Zap to it. What is all this crap?
I don't know what that is, man.
I just want numbers, man. I just want numbers. Seriously.
Yeah, Showbuzz Daily. That's what you got to go to, man.
Let's see what they have. Articles.
That's
Updated.
Wednesday.
Top
Tuesday.
150. Oh,
well, that's Wednesday.
Yeah,
go down to Tuesday's next
Tuesday.
day down. There
perfect.
you go.
Okay, here we go.
So just do a search for TNT and see what pops up. You got to scroll down quite a ways.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay, here we go. Yeah, you're right. TNT. Oh, I think it was NBA. Hold on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So
yeah, and that's
basketball?
going to be taken up because playoffs are just starting right now.
That's going to be interesting then if All Elite's running Tuesday nights and they got to preempt basketball for wrestling.
Does ESPN?
ESPN still does basketball, yeah.
They run there are games going concurrently on the same nights.
Yeah, across networks. Yeah.
Does TNT have like West Coast and ESPN has East Coast?
Oh, I don't know.
Or is it TNT? I thought it didn't used to be TNT had like Mondays and Wednesdays and ESPN.
Oh, that could be
something like that. I don't
know.
Be. Let's see here. According to this, yeah, TNT's doubleheader was a .56.
That's on Tuesday.
That was on Tuesday.
Interesting.
Let's see here. .56. Yeah, NBA basketball right there. And then I think that means 1.3 million viewers for that.
Okay. I mean, if All Elite could do that, that'd be pretty massive.
It sounds like they would probably want or expect 1 million viewers per episode.
Mm-hmm.
If All Elite could pull that off, I'm sure that's probably a win for everybody.
Oh, I would think so.
I
would think so. Yeah, it'd be pretty massive if they could pull that off.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty huge.
So I guess we'll see. I mean, wrestling fans are... There's definitely a hunger out there for it, you know. And if they're used to watching it on Tuesdays, if there's nothing else is going on, the question might be: will WWE then try to counter program something maybe on the network? Well, it'd have to be on the network.
Yeah,
Tuesday nights. Would they then shift? Would they shift NXT? I mean, the thing about NXT is that I rarely watch NXT live.
Oh, I never watch it
live. It's not live programming anyways.
No.
But would they then try to counter program? And I don't know if that would even work.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Unless, could you imagine? I mean, what if they? How much would it cost for WWE? No, that'd just be. NXT.
Well, I mean, All Elite is. I doubt they're going to be live every week.
Oh, I don't know, man.
I could be wrong, but I'd be surprised if they were live every week.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll do an Impact style taping where they do, or NXT style taping where they tape a month at a time, or they'll do what Raw used to do, which is they do 2 episodes per show.
There is such a premium. You're right, but it's a lot of money that's being put into this. There is such a premium for live content.
Oh, I know.
I mean, I don't know who would the impetus be on if TNT said, "Hey, we're going to give you $100 million," which I don't know if that's a normal figure.
Yeah,
I know how much
idea.
WWE gets.
Yeah, it's a lot more than that.
Yeah, it's a ton more than that. We'll give you $100 million. The cons are sinking $100 million into it. Can you give us a live show? I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know.
But then you're starting to chip away at one of the reasons people might want to go to AEW, which is a lighter schedule. Granted, they won't be the number of house shows per se, and flying into a city once a week isn't a huge deal.
You could theoretically do 52 shows a year.
Yeah, but not including pay-per-views. So you're talking maybe mid-60s.
Yeah.
65 shows a year.
Which is way less.
Oh, I know. But if the prospect is, you have to leave your family twice a month, once for TV tapings, once for a pay-per-view, that's a pretty huge pull.
Oh, I don't know.
As opposed to 5 times a month.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I have no idea. We're not wrestlers.
No.
But I would think that, hey, virtually the same money you're making with WWE, plus no house shows. I would think that alone.
I would think there would probably be
some
house shows.
Massive pull.
Some house shows.
If the house show circuit is profitable.
I think Kenny's talked about how they're going to be a touring brand.
Yeah.
So I doubt there'll be 5 shows a week, but 2 or 3 maybe.
I don't know, man. Be interesting.
Definitely will be.
Very interesting.
And if that's the case, if there's going to be 2 or 3 shows a week, then yeah, do it live.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it all depends on what they're planning on doing.
Yeah.
Like, would they just do, would they do a TV taping on Thursday and then do Tuesday, and then, do shows like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, TV tapings Tuesday, and like just that 1 week a month, be a touring brand?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know. A lot remains to be learned about the situation.
Yeah. How many shows per year were WCW guys doing?
I think it depends on their deal.
Like, let's say...
I think like Scott Hall, Kevin Nash doing like 150 shows a year.
I think it was
like
150 a year.
It was 3 a week
and
then.
For them, that was like gravy. That was like...
Oh, that was... Yeah, because they're
it.
probably working 300 days a year with WWE.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man. I mean, you look at Sean Spears, right?
Yeah.
Ty
Dillinger.
Dillinger. And he's like, man, I can either be on the road all the time and not have job security, or and not be out there, not be, visible and relevant and building my brand, or I can get, 3 days a week or 2 days a week and be on TV.
Yeah, entirely possible.
Making almost the same money as WWE. I would think that's a selling point right
there.
It
would be. I'm sure. I don't know what the baseline of expectation would be.
My question would be, logistically speaking, doing live TV is not easy. You need a massive infrastructure for that.
Which leads me to believe that they would probably do tapings, because then it's once a month you got to worry about.
You would think
that.
too.
From an expense standpoint, you think?
Yeah, no, you would think
sense.
that would be the case, because that's a daunting task. But at the same time, if they're pouring a ton of money into it, then you can build the infrastructure. There's people out there who can do it. So why do I have these notes up?
I have no idea. Those aren't the right notes, Steve.
Here's the right notes.
Yes.
I have right notes now.
All right, we got some injuries to report. First.
Boy, a ton of injuries coming out of Mania, or at least high-profile ones.
Yeah, because we'd heard that Daniel Bryan, we talked about this on our non-news edition.
Yeah, so there's a mysterious, we'll just talk about it here real quick.
AJ Styles might be injured, Daniel Bryan might be injured or not.
Yeah, this is Meltzer saying this on the radio, on Wrestling Observer Radio.
I think it was just speculation as to why he wasn't on SmackDown this week.
He said he managed to leave to go home without anybody seeing him, which is a weird thing to say, and that he may or may not have an injury from Mania. Big E posted on Twitter, making mincemeat of my meniscus, crossbody cooked the cartilage, bye for a bit. So interesting use of alliteration there.
Yes. Some good writing there.
To illustrate his ill-timed injury to his knee.
Yes. Pro Wrestling Sheet has some additional details saying, quote, sources tell us Big E is getting his knee scoped and could be out of action for around 6 weeks. It's unclear if he'll be used on TV at all while recovering.
That's a bummer.
It is a bummer.
I love him.
Oh, he's the best.
He's the best.
He is the best.
He does the splits. And then AJ Styles, after he was unable to make his scheduled Access appearance Monday, the word got around that he may have suffered an injury at WrestleMania. First, PW Insider reported AJ Styles' injury issue has been confirmed to be a hip issue by several WWE sources. Styles is believed to have suffered the injury when hitting the forearm to the outside of the ring on Randy Orton. However, AJ clarified his injury status while streaming some PUBG on his Mixer channel, which I didn't know he even had.
I didn't know that either.
And apparently the injury occurred during Orton's superplex. AJ said, and these are transcripts from Wrestling Inc., when you take a suplex from about 15 feet in the air, I think I hit my left side before my right just a little bit, and that's totally on me, totally my fault. It kind of knocked my hips out of place, and then everything else, all those muscles in your butt and your back swell up, and then those muscles press on your nerve endings, and the next thing is you can't walk the next day. But got x-rays on Wednesday. They're all positive. I didn't break anything, so as far as that looks, I should be good to go here soon. I just got killed.
Fightful also adds that Styles noted on the same stream that, quote, I sprained my SI joint,
sacroiliac?
Yeah.
Sacroiliac.
Yeah, joint. Nothing too severe. I just need the muscles to ease up and treat a sprain like a sprain. Hopefully it doesn't take too long to heal. I'll be back in action soon. You don't know the degree of the sprain. Sounds like that hurts if you wake up next day and you can't walk.
That would all suck. Being a wrestler would all suck.
Yeah, it would not be terribly fun.
No, man.
Although there's probably a lot of fun to be had. You could travel the world, see all sorts of interesting things.
I'm sure it's amazing.
I'm sure the act of wrestling is fun. Just when you're done with the match, wake up the next day and your whole body hurts.
It sucks.
Yeah. All right, you want to talk about G1 Supercard a little bit?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
All right.
I thought you were writing notes on this thing.
I did. It's not on that, though. It's a different thing. It's different doc.
And do I have access to it?
Of course. It's in the
Computer, show me.
It's in the usual folder where all notes are, man.
Computer, show me.
So overall impression, Steve.
New Japan is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
New Japan is the great.
And you mentioned at the beginning that Ring of Honor, of course, with the Young Bucks, Cody, Hangman Page, go and forming their own promotion. They're in a bit of a rebuilding mode. Of course, they brought in Brody King, PCO,
Mark Haskins,
Bandito, Mark Haskins, Roosh. A lot of great talent, still working their way, getting familiar with the fans over there. It's a distinctive presentation of wrestling. You have Ring of Honor does things very differently than New Japan, and to see the two presentations, I'm talking about how action is presented in the ring. it's a bit of a disconnect. Because the show didn't flow seamlessly.
Yeah.
Because we're used to New Japan shows going, we watch not all of them, but plenty of them, and we're used to the show proceeding in a certain way. Mm-hmm. And that didn't necessarily happen with this. Let's kick things off talking briefly about the Honor Rumble.
I think the thing that's very evident when you look at, for right now, this moment, Ring of Honor being the number 2 company in the country in North America.
For the time being, yeah.
Until October. Mm-hmm. By the way, distinctly until October. Mm-hmm. Okay. The level of depth that they lack is fairly striking.
Yes.
The number of people...
And it was on full display right at the beginning of the show.
It was. The number of people, especially as compared to New Japan.
Yes.
The number of people that... So, here you go. This is the deal. I don't keep up with Ring of Honor. However, we both keep an eye out. We keep an eye on the general non-WWE wrestling world. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Certain people make their names, and in my opinion, we keep an eye on as close as we can to the non-WWE world.
Absolutely.
And so people like, for example, Joey Ryan, we've known for a very long time. We've known of him for a very long time. Yeah. Guys like Jeff Cobb come across our radar, and it's like, that dude especially, he's going to be big.
Yeah.
Brody King comes across our radar. He's going to be big. Darby Allin comes across our radar. Okay, cool. Ring of Honor has a lot of people who have been in Ring of Honor for a very long time that I do not know. Mm-hmm. Certain guys like that I do know about, Beer City Bruiser, the last real man,
Silas
Young.
Yeah.
Kenny King I've heard of. I'm not really too familiar. But then there's some deep cuts in that Honor Rumble that, for whatever reason, these guys have just been in Ring of Honor and have never really made a name outside of Ring of Honor. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I just kind of feel like if you're in a place for a long time, if you haven't made a name for yourself, you need to go out and do other stuff.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just a matter of they don't have that ability. I don't know. But like, I had never heard of Rhett Titus before.
Yeah.
And he comes in there and he's an odd character. I didn't know that the Beer City Bruiser had an entire faction.
I didn't know that either.
So like his logo showed up. I knew that he hung out with Silas Young.
Yeah.
But I didn't know there was like 2 other dudes in their faction.
Yeah. There was that real huge dude.
Yeah, there was a really, really big guy.
Bouncer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess it's just in a matter of depth. It's like you've got Minoru Suzuki. You've got Ishii.
Yeah. Guys like Minoru Suzuki, he is main evented a Tokyo Dome show. Rocky Romero, yeah.
Like they didn't even bring out any of there was no Yuji Nagata. Mm-mm. There was no Nakanishi.
There was no Young Lions either.
There were no Young Lions. They didn't use any of the lowest depth guy was probably Yoshihashi, and he's even a mid-carder. Mm-hmm. So like their depth is crazy. And then Ring of Honor wheels out their guys, and it's like, what are these guys? Who are these guys? Why have I never heard of these people?
I know.
And I know, Steve, maybe you should keep up with the Ring of Honor, but when they're not on my radar, like, I kind of feel like I keep an eye open for people. Yes. But if you're not out there showing up in Lariato gifts, which Jeff Cobb is, Darby Allin is, the PWG players are.
PCO is.
Yeah. Brody King is. Yeah. When you're not doing that, then you're not making a name for yourself. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I just don't, it's like, man, I don't, it's funny because you had said, man, I kind of feel bad for the New Japan guys because they're in there with like these, I feel bad for Ring of Honor because like they have these legends from New Japan coming in and what do you have to wheel out, you know? Mm-hmm. I like Cheeseburger.
Yeah, I do too.
But obviously he's a comedy act. His name is Cheeseburger. You know, he's like this really super baby boy skinny guy.
Yeah.
You know, coming out there and you're afraid for him.
Yeah.
Because he's so tiny.
Yeah.
So,
but at the same time though, they have to get everybody they can on this card. People paid good money to go to the show, and like me, I'm a huge Suzuki fan. And if I traveled across the country, paid top dollar for a good seat, I want to see Minoru Suzuki.
Well, that just speaks to the depth of New Japan.
Oh, totally.
And
while like Suzuki, he came in second. He eliminated the most people probably. I didn't keep track, but he was eliminating people left and right.
Yeah, he was booked really
Would I have liked to see him in something far more prominent in this card? Hell yes. But at the same time, you can't fit everybody in a singles match or something, and I'd rather they book the actual show this way rather than a bunch of 8-man tag matches.
Yeah, I agree. No, look, I love Rumbles, and it's a joy seeing people that I've never heard of.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see Ring of Honor has a bit of a depth problem.
They do.
And they've had some guys who have been there for a very long time. Like, they just have guys that have been there for a very long time, and I just haven't.
What really irked me.
They don't stand out.
What really irked me is why didn't Minoru Suzuki come out to Kaze ni Nare? The fans had to sing it. He came out to
might have been a Madison Square Garden rights issue.
Why would Madison Square Garden have a weird rights thing about music played there?
Why is Madison Square Garden so expensive to produce TV in?
Because it's a union thing. You have to do it. Yeah, it's a union thing.
I guess I'm just speculating. Maybe there's some other weird, oddly expensive reason why they didn't. I don't know.
It's probably because because it aired on New Japan World. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. It depends on who officially promoted the show. Maybe Ring of Honor didn't want to have to pay for the licensing or something.
It distinctly looked like a Ring of Honor production.
It did.
It really did.
It did.
So that could be.
It did.
I don't know. I don't have an answer.
The main thing about this Honor Rumble is whoever won it will get a Ring of Honor world title shot. I didn't know that when we did predictions. If I had known that, I would not have picked Jushin Thunder Liger, who got a massive pop and lasted until the final four. Kenny King, who entered at number 1, ended up winning it. There's this great bit. Great Muta came in at 30.
He looked, man.
Yeah.
Does he wrestle on a semi-regular basis?
I don't think so.
Where did he get that outfit from? It looked amazing.
It did look amazing.
He looked incredible.
Yes. So the final four, or so we thought, was Liger, Great Muta, and then the Kingdom. Liger and Muta eliminate TK Orion and Vinny. So they're the final two, or so they think. But Kenny King sneaks back in the ring because he just snuck out at one point. He eliminates them. However, he's celebrating. Muta gets back in there, gives him some mist. Mm-hmm. So the fans can go home happy.
Yeah, the fans were not happy because Kenny King did the thing where he wasn't in the. He was like he left.
He snuck out and then came back in.
Yeah, and then came back in.
Main card starts with Will Osprey versus Jeff Cobb. Title versus title. Never open weight versus Ring of Honor TV title. It's a solid match. It's the big strong guy taking on the fast guy that can fly all over the place. That was the story.
I can watch these guys all day long.
So good.
All day long.
It was so good. And so especially early on, Cobb had the advantage due to his strength, and he's a pretty damn athletic dude in his own right. Mm-hmm. Osprey would get some offense in. But there's that spot here where Cobb catches Osprey mid Oscutter, and throws him into the turnbuckle, only for Will to bounce right back off and hit the Oscutter anyway.
That was awesome.
That was great.
Yeah.
Finish saw they're on the top rope. Cobb picks up Osprey, like a second rope tour of the islands, picks him up, gives him another one. Mm-hmm. He wins. He is now dual champ.
The super tour of the islands.
Yeah,
was
man,
rad.
It was awesome.
It was so rad. That looks like it's such a fun move to watch.
Yeah.
So yeah, Cobb is now champ. He's champ.
He is Jeff Two Belts.
Jeffy Two Belts. That's right. No, both those guys are favorites of mine.
Yeah.
You can watch both those guys fight all day long and be happy.
Totally.
This next one was kind of interesting. Dalton Castle, was he sporting rib tape, or is his trunks just go up that high?
I think he recently returned from a back injury.
Oh, okay.
They said he broke his back.
How? God, what?
Well,
really?
he broke one of the vertebrae in his back, not his actual spinal column. This is one of the vertebrae.
That's
that's not a huge deal. That's a pretty massive deal. So I'm guessing that extra support was for that.
How old is Dalton Castle?
He's probably in his 30s. So, of course, Dalton Castle is accompanied by the boys.
33. He's only 33.
He's been wrestling a while, though. And so they take their leave. However, there is like a feather left in the ring, and this distracts Dalton Castle.
Yeah.
And because the ref points it out to him. So he turns around. Boys, get this out of there. He turns around, and Roosh hits him with the shotgun drop kick right as the bell rings. Because I was watching the ref, and so Dalton Castle turns around, make sure the feather's out, and as soon as he starts to turn back towards Roosh, the ref's like, ring that bell.
Yeah.
So the bell rings. Dalton Castle turns around, heats drop kick to face.
It's so because I had heard beforehand, because I didn't watch this live, that this was going to be a squash match, and so he's so relaxed about him turning back around towards Roosh, and Roosh is like freaking on one. That dude is intense. He's all jacked.
Oh, I know. He like that first drop kick. They should be called a cannon drop kick, not a shotgun one. It's like he was shot out of a cannon.
That one was crazy. And then when Castle's The next one, when he like loaded up and gave it to him again, because Castle's just in the corner, and Roosh comes back at him with a drop kick.
2 more of them.
Well, that first one was nasty.
Yeah, man.
That was horrible. And then a third one, and then he gets him in that set. That's a match.
That's a match. He wins. And then afterwards, Dalton Castle's upset with the boys, and then he beats him up.
So they're doing like a crisis of confidence for Dalton Castle.
Yeah.
Who's like the ultimate confidence guy.
Yeah.
But they're like, yeah, he's world champion, but man, he's garbage now. So what's going on with that?
Yeah, I don't know. Next, we get a quick shot of Juice Robinson, who's supposed to be taking on Bully Ray later on in the street fight, laid out backstage.
Ouch.
Somebody beat him up. I wonder who.
Yeah, I don't know.
After that, we had a match for the Women of Honor title, Kelly Klein versus Mayu Iwatani. This was a decent match. Kelly Klein was working over Iwatani's knee, her leg, but Kelly Klein's power advantage ended up being too much. She hit 2 of her finishers for the win. Afterwards, Angelina Love and Velvet Sky, the beautiful people from Impact.
Yeah, now called Allure.
Yeah, they come down the ring. They start beating up Kelly Klein. Mandy Leone, who was on commentary for this match, comes down too. Yeah. And yes, they are now a faction called the Allure.
And then they wrote in lipstick, I believe.
Yeah, like the Anarchy.
It's the Anarchy A.
Yeah.
But it's, the way they do it, stylized Allure, and the A is Anarchy.
Yeah.
So that's cool. That's good. Good for them. After that, we had Bully Ray versus the returning. He's returning, right?
Yeah. He came back from a knee injury too.
He was jacked.
Yeah, Flip looked great. Flip Gordon looked great. So it's Bully Ray had an open challenge. He'd say, "I'll take on anybody in a street fight." Juice Robinson's laid up. So
wait, but before this, Mega Ran.
Oh yeah,
came in and did like a little song,
and then Bully Ray interrupted him.
Yeah, and then Mega Ran tried to get in Bully Ray's face. I thought that probably wasn't.
That's not a good idea.
No, but even like they shouldn't have booked him to do that.
No.
Who's going to step to Bully Ray? Like in character, who's going to step to Bully Ray? It's terrifying.
I know. I know.
Like if he's just hey, Bully Ray, I like your podcast. My dad listens to it and says I'm better than it. I wouldn't say that to him even out of character. Yeah. But I'd say, hey, my dad is always updating me from your podcast. I have a podcast too. And maybe we should
podcast together.
Cross collaborate.
Yeah, exactly. Collaboration is good for everybody.
I'm sure he'd be cool. But in character, you don't step to him.
No.
Chubby Megaran does. She shouldn't be stepping to Bully Ray.
No.
So I don't even know why they did that.
Yeah, I don't know. To get heat on Bully, I guess. I don't know why. Anyway, so Flip Gordon comes out. They start having what I guess is a match. And then Silas Young and Shane Taylor come to the ring.
Yeah.
And then shortly thereafter, Mark Haskins and Juice Robinson, Lifeblood, come down with a bunch of weapons to even the odds. It's now a 6-man hardcore tag match.
I do like the name of that faction.
Their logo's cool.
Their logo's really cool. I just don't like their leader. He needs to go. I'm sorry. Like Haskins and Bandito.
They're great.
That's awesome. And then who else is in their crew?
Tracy Williams. I don't know a lot about him.
I don't know anything about him.
He was in the Battle Royal, but he just comes in with like trunks and stuff.
Oh, he's that Eddie Dennis looking dude.
I guess I can see
that.
He's
all super skinny.
Yeah, he's kind of thin.
No. But Bandito and Haskins are great.
Yeah.
They should have just been a team of their own. Maybe get somebody cooler for the third guy.
Mm-hmm.
But Juice is cheesy. And that little Eddie Dennis guy, I'm not sure. I'm not huge on him.
Well, I'm not that familiar with his work, so I'll refrain from passing
All
judgment.
I saw was what I saw in the Rumble.
This was fun, though, and Flip was taking a beating. He got destroyed by some kendo sticks.
There was a really cool shot where they all had kendo sticks like at his head.
Yeah.
I think I saw that picture on Twitter.
He was getting wrecked with those kendo sticks, and Bully put him through a table.
Yeah.
But in the end, the faces go over.
Mm-hmm.
Flip Gordon hits a 450 on Bully.
Yeah.
And they all pile on top of him for the win.
Yeah.
Fun match. Next, we had for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title, Dragon Lee versus Bandito versus the champion, Taiji Ishimori.
Oh, boy. This was fun.
This match was only 8 minutes or so long, and they got so much into it.
Yeah, I know.
So much.
I know. They're so good.
In that spot where Bandito hit his top rope power slam on both of them.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Same time. That was
great.
insane.
Yeah.
Dragon Lee won, though.
Yeah, new junior IWGP
Which
champion.
instantly makes me think, I wonder if Takahashi's going to be cleared to return soon.
Okay, Is it possible for him to wrestle again, though? Has that been a thing? I haven't kept up.
Meltzer said that he's been recuperating with the idea, and he's tweeted about it with the idea of coming back.
Okay, that's good.
So I guess depending on the severity of the broken neck.
Jesus, that was ugly. God, but man,
I mean, I hope he's not. He'll temper some of his.
Tone it down a bit.
Yeah.
Tone it down.
Do what Stone Cold did. Change your style a little bit.
You brawler.
There you go.
He's creative enough.
He can throw some hands, man.
To be whatever he wants to be and keep it safe.
Totally.
He can't do what he did before.
No.
Ouch.
No. Fun match though. Next, this match was insane, and the ending was perhaps even more crazy.
This was
Evil and Sonata versus the Briscoes versus Girls of Destiny versus PCO and Brody King for all the tag titles.
For all of them. How'd you like the electric chair on the ramp? So
it was very early 90s WCW.
Yeah, everything about him is, and yet oddly he makes it work really well.
It's because you know his story. He's like this 50-year-old dude who's tossing his body around like he's in his 20s.
Yeah, there's something cool about just his presentation though. Mm-hmm. Even though like it kind of shouldn't be, but it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's really neat. It's like a modern version of that. This works really well.
Yeah, it does. And this is a crazy match because PCO was tossing himself all over the place. He was tossed all over the place. Girls of Destiny just picked him up and like basically powerbombed him out of the ring.
There's no basically. They powerbombed that.
And it was
old
great
man.
because it happened. And then he gets up like he's going to no-sell it, and then he just falls back down.
Then he just falls back down.
But he was just tossing. He did a suicide dive, a couple suicide dives. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm not. Well, it's too much for me, man.
And this match never let up. It was just like nonstop action for the full 10 minutes, whatever how long it lasted.
Like there's a reality to it. You know what I mean?
It's because he's 50 years old.
Yes, he's 50. Even if you're 21, you shouldn't be doing that to your body.
But it's made worse because he's 50 years old.
Yeah, I know. Like I see some of the stuff Darby Allin does. Oh my God, kid! You shouldn't be doing that to yourself. But this dude's 50.
Yeah.
Oh, it's too much.
I know, man.
I know those mats seem plush on the outside, but there's only so much.
No, they're like an inch and a half thick.
There's only so much.
Anyways, Girls of Destiny picked up the win. Tongaloa pinned Brody King after a super powerbomb from Girls of Destiny. Mm-hmm. They are all the tag champs. And then basically as soon as the bell rings, there's a commotion ringside. I'm sure everybody's heard of it. It's goddamn Enzo and Cass.
Hold on now their name is Enzo and
Kaz XL. For the most part, the television presentation tried to no-sell what was going on in the ringside area. Instantly, you could tell that Guerrillas of Destiny were at the least annoyed by what was going on ringside after they had just won the match. And
is it possible that they were not told that this
I
was
guarantee you they didn't know. Because there was that stuff where Yano's up on the ramp with the IWGP tag titles, and there's supposed to be a thing where they're talking trash and getting back and forth. And what's Tama Tonga doing?
Looking at what's going on with Enzo.
And the look of it, pure exasperation on Tongaloa's face. After they cut back from like the replays, he's looking at ringside and is doing this.
Is it? Hold
I'm
on
willing
a
to
second,
bet
though. The Briscoes knew.
Maybe.
I know the Briscoes. Dude, Enzo would not be alive right now if the Briscoes didn't know that was the case in the first place.
Yeah, maybe the Briscoes knew.
He would be dead.
But
he would be dead.
Just the vibe I got from Guerrillas of Destiny, they didn't know. Didn't know.
I think it's possible. I think this is possible. I think for the safety of everybody, because here's the thing. I even think maybe if the Guerrillas of Destiny didn't know for sure, Enzo might be dead. Because here's the thing. Think about this. You're about to go out there with 3 other teams that have your life in their hands, right?
Yeah.
So you're all on the same page. You go out there and Enzo shows up and he's mixing it up with one of the Briscoes. If I'm Tama Tonga, I'm probably going to go out there and help the guy that I know, because I don't know that this is fake. I don't know that this is scripted. I'm going to go over there and beat that guy's ass because he's beating up on the guy. I don't know. Like, I know one of these guys I'm working with right now.
Or maybe it's a situation where, like, this is my company.
I think they probably knew, but it might have been right before the match. Hey, I think we're going to be signing Enzo and Cass. Higher ups want to sign Enzo and Cass. They're going to do a thing.
Maybe after they finish the match, the rest says, okay, something will be happening ringside.
No, exactly. I think that might be the case. And that reaction is still the same. Because that reaction wasn't, This is a shoot. This is like really
that
happening.
seemed legitimate.
Because he's going to go down there and do something.
Yeah, this
because
seemed like-
wrestlers want to do that.
It seemed like legitimate. What the heck is happening, and why are they rooting the end of our match?
I think it's a legitimate. This is really what they're doing.
Yeah.
This is terrible.
Yeah.
This is going to be part of my match. I'm embarrassed right now.
Yes.
That's what it was. And then he goes backstage and he throws the Ring of Honor tag title.
And calls it stupid or something like that.
Yeah. And then it's Ring of Honor. Like, nobody should do that. But when they bring in Enzo and Cass, okay, it's okay to call it stupid because that's a stupid move.
Yeah, it's not a smart move to bring in Enzo and Cass.
No, it's not.
And so the television presentation tries to no-sell it, even though Colt Cabana, I feel like, really wants to watch it.
Yeah. And here's the thing. It's with they're doing this with the understanding that everybody's on this. Everybody's on Twitter.
And so your Twitter feed's flooded with shaky video of the Briscoes beating the heck out of Enzo, and Bully Ray comes down and starts laying into him as well.
Yeah.
And eventually Enzo and Cass, or Enzo and Kaz XL leave back through, and we hear stuff, well, he asked Tulio work because security never got involved at any point.
Yeah.
So it was I can't remember his name, but I think he does stuff for WrestleZone, was tweeting like, yeah, I was sitting right next to security and they didn't budge the whole time.
Was it Voices of Wrestling that said, shoot.
They were there, and then they said something like, yeah, we've looked into it, and yeah, this is just a work.
And apparently, like a lot of people in Ring of Honor, according to the Voice of Wrestling, I think it was them. I apologize if it was somebody else. Said that a lot of people in Ring of Honor are not happy about this.
Well, they shouldn't be.
But the like super higher ups, and I don't know who's comprised of the super higher ups.
Yeah, I don't know either.
But want them to.
And I think it could bring eyeballs in the product, I guess.
But talk about an Impact a couple of years ago move. You know, Let's go out and get Enzo and Cass.
I know. It's
you know who else I think is still signed with Ring of Honor?
Who's that?
I could be wrong about this.
I think it was Ross Berman. Does he work for WrestleZone? Yeah, I think he was the one tweeting about how he was sitting next to security. And
isn't Simon Gotch with Ring of Honor?
Oh, I don't think so.
In January of 2018, he was with them. Although I guess I haven't seen him in any of their products.
Nor have I.
I haven't heard.
He was at Bloodsport. He was at a matchup.
That's right.
Josh Burnett's Bloodsport.
True.
Next, we had a really good match between Hiroshi Tanahashi and Zack Sabre Jr. These guys have awesome chemistry. Just fantastic. Zack Sabre Jr. was attacking Tanahashi's left arm.
Oh, yeah. This is
came into play.
Match. Oh, in early 2018, he began wrestling for Major League Wrestling.
Oh, MLW.
Is he with MLW? Is he with both?
And then the end, Tanahashi tapped to Zack's finish.
Maybe he's with them.
And he was really twisting Tanahashi's body. Oof.
I was going to say, how great would it be if we got an in real life version of Simon Gotch-Berry's Enzo Amore.
Wow.
That's like, that would blow up the internet.
It really
whatever
would.
Thumbnail they use. Because I
really
see
would.
his little thumbnail all the time. Yeah, no, that was a terrific match. Tanahashi versus Sabre Jr.
And then followed by another terrific match.
Oh, my goodness.
Kota Ibushi taking on Tetsuya Naito.
Dude, again, it's hard to watch these matches. They drop each other on their necks all the time.
Yeah, Kota Ibushi likes to just fall on his neck, apparently.
But they're so smooth, and Naito is so amazing.
Mm-hmm.
His character work is unparalleled.
Kota Ibushi, when he's on, there might be nobody better in the ring than him.
When he gets to his limit, and then started the strikes to Naito. That first one, it wasn't even
first palm strike. Yeah,
dude, it was. I swear to God, it looked like his fist was. It just looked like a punch. It wasn't even a chop. It was like a.
It was a palm strike.
Yeah,
like that.
But God, it looked like this.
But it looked like he hit him like right in his heart.
It was like, and it was so stiff.
Yeah.
Oh,
and then Naito sold it perfectly. Stumbled around. It was great. Kota Ibushi is your new IWGP Intercontinental Champion, though. Hit a last ride.
That's awesome.
Naito kicked out, but then hit a Kamigoya for the win. Great match.
Yeah, man.
Happy Ibushi got that title.
Terrific match.
Next, the co-main event for the Ring of Honor World title.
Mm-hmm.
Marty Scurll. He's great.
Yeah, I love Marty Scurll.
Matt Taven. And then Jay Lethal, who's also great.
Yeah. Jay Lethal and Marty Scurll are great.
Why couldn't this been a match between the two of them? I don't get Matt Taven. Don't get it.
Neither do I.
I don't get it.
Neither do I.
We had this conversation, I think, on Overrun on Tuesday. Sorry, we didn't come into work on Monday. And Matt Taven has his fans.
Yeah, he has fans.
I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
I don't get it.
I don't get it, man.
I don't
but
get
to
it.
each their own.
Yeah, totally.
We probably wouldn't want to publicize any of our commentary from watching it. We like to talk shit. So that was fun. That was fun.
This match was decent. Crowd was firmly behind Taven not winning.
The problem is that one day we're gonna like come face to face with a guy, and he's probably nice. We'll probably have to be like nice. It'd be cool.
Well, I mean, we're professionals, so we will be nice and cool.
Yeah, I know, but it's just I hate
here.
talking.
Well, I'm not gonna. I didn't say anything. I'm not saying he's garbage. I just don't get it. I don't get the appeal of Matt Taven.
Yeah, but even saying that, man, that's rude.
How's that rude?
You can't say that to somebody, because then he's gonna show up at like StarCast and be like, "Hey, I'm Matt Taven. How you doing?"
Say, nice to meet you.
Yeah,
I'll be nice. I'll be courteous and
he's gonna be
professional.
like, what? You think I'm garbage?
No, I'll say no. I just don't. I mean, I understand you're a heel.
It's okay. I feel like you could beat him up.
I don't know. I was like, I mean, it's just my honest assessment, man. Nothing personal.
Oh, man.
I don't know you as a person. I'm not going to disparage him personally by any respect without knowing anything about him.
It makes me laugh because there's been times. It's just honestly, it's just growing as a podcast and understanding that like people pay attention sometimes.
Oh, when we were at StarCast and Simon Grimm out of nowhere goes Steven Larson,
right?
Like, oh shoot, what did we
say? At that point,
say?
I was like, oh man, I think I called him Simon Botch one time, and it's all out of fun because I remember with him specifically the stories about him and like Sin Cara and a Coke can or something.
Yeah, and a fight backstage.
I don't know. But then he was like, he knew us from 10 for the win.
He was super cool.
And he was so nice.
Yeah.
So maybe Matt Taven knows about us from 10 for the win. I speculated recently about somebody that we both know that I'm like, what do we do to piss him off? Maybe we were rude to him during the 10 for the win days. And I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm sure there's plenty of people out there who don't like us.
Oh, yeah. Maybe. I don't know. Anyways, the crowd was firmly behind Matt Taven not winning this match. They were saying,
true.
F you, Taven.
Yeah.
At one point, he pulled the giant purple ladder from under the ring, and there was like a collective groan throughout the arena.
That's one thing, man. I just hate purple.
There's certain shades of purple that just don't work for me, and that ladder was that
May
shade
I
of
ask
purple.
you, what can you name an album, a piece of art, some design that has purple in it that you find not offensive?
The cover to Purple Rain, man. Prince's Purple Rain.
Oh, okay. That's good.
I know it's good. That's why this is my first example.
Okay. All right. I like it. That's good.
There was one pretty clever spot. You know, Marty Scurll likes to do the finger snap stuff.
Yeah, that's great.
That's one of his gimmicks. And so at one point, he and Matt Taven are at the top of the ladder. He does it. Taven, I believe, knocks Scurll off the ladder and tries to reach for the belt, but can't because his fingers are all jacked up. That's like, okay, that's a clever spot. That's a clever spot. There's some spots where I think Taven powerbombs Jay Lethal through a ladder that was set on the ramp, and then Lethal drops an elbow on Taven when he's set up on a table. Mm-hmm. You know, one of the stories of this match was that Lethal was maybe just as focused as taking out Matt Taven as getting the title for himself. In the end, might have cost him.
Yeah.
Whereas Taven, his focus was on getting that title.
Yeah.
So
name 5 people that you saw that's not Jay Lethal, not Marty Scurll, because Marty's probably going to be leaving.
Yeah.
And not Jay Lethal. Name 5 people in Ring of Honor you'd rather see have that title.
Jeff Cobb.
Brody King.
Yeah, Brody King. Even PCO.
Who
am I missing? I think they're heels. Bandito.
Oh, yeah. Even Roosh.
Flip Gordon. Yeah, Roosh.
Yeah. Those are all good names.
Mm-hmm. Because, like, there is talent in Ring of Honor that's really good.
I even feel like, I know Dalton Castle had all sorts of injury issues.
Yeah, I think that's kind of why he had to drop the title.
Yeah, I think you're right.
To Jay. Let's talk about this main event. Greatest wrestler in the world, Kazuchika Okada, taking on Switchblade Jay White.
True.
Hell of a match.
True.
Hell of a match. Yeah. One thing I liked about Jay, I really appreciated Jay White when Okada went for the Rainmaker the first time. What did he do?
Sat down.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, no.
That was great.
And he goes like this.
Yeah, that was so good.
No, I'm not going to do it.
It's like everything about Jay White I really like. Just wish the promos had a little bit more gruffness to them. A bit more earthiness, a bit more experience behind them.
Yeah. It's, you know what's funny is that now that his title reign is over for now, I'm probably going to start appreciating him a lot more.
Because I don't necessarily think he's a bad promo. I don't think he is, because the promo bits they played for the package leading up to this were effective. It's just there's just not a whole lot of menace to him.
You're right. I don't know if there's I don't know. Maybe we've just gotten the Switchblade character wrong from what it's supposed to be.
Because I think in the ring there is menace to him in the ring.
Let me ask you something. Do you think
his whole presentation is very menacing?
I wonder this. I wonder this. This is kind of an interesting issue. I wouldn't know, because I am so foreign to Japanese culture in general. I'm not sure I would know how to write a convincing Japanese character, let's say in like a comic book.
Okay.
In terms of a specific thing that I want, or if I'm working on a movie and I'm directing it and there's a Japanese actor and there's a language barrier there, I wonder if I'd convincingly be able to convey this is what I'm going for with this character. Mm-hmm. I wonder if there's an element at all of that in the Switchblade character.
I don't know.
Let's assume the head writer there is Gato.
Yeah.
We've heard that before.
Yeah.
What kind of character things he looks for? Is it superficial? Is it, hey, this is what you're going to be wearing, this is what your deal, your nickname is going to be Switchblade, and then it's up to Jay White to take care of the rest? Does Gato have something very specific in mind in terms of how he's supposed to deliver his promos, what presence he's supposed to have? I don't know any of these things, but I am kind of curious about that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I wonder if any of it has to do with a language barrier in terms of conveying what he's supposed to be versus, and there's also the matter of our expectations of what he's supposed to be. Mm-hmm. I feel like now I have a bit clearer of an idea in terms of what he's supposed to be. I think my main issue has been a couple things that are not necessarily related to the Switchblade character per se. It's the storylines leading up to the whole Bullet Club thing has been weird.
That did the Bullet Club no favors.
Them sort of giving him all this reverence when I feel like his character hadn't really earned it. Mm-hmm. Like he hadn't maneuvered his way. They just let him in and let him do whatever. Mm-hmm. And then
it doesn't feel like his Bullet Club. It still feels like Tamatonga's Bullet Club.
Yeah. And then on top of that, I wasn't really huge on his match with Okada at
Wrestle Kingdom?
At Wrestle Kingdom, because I feel like it was all Okada, and then all of a sudden, he hits his
Blade Runner,
and then that's it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't really huge on the booking of that match. I wasn't really huge on the story of that match.
Have you seen his match against Tanahashi where he won the title?
Did I watch? I had to watch that one.
I don't remember if I did either.
I think I did.
To revisit that.
Yeah, maybe.
See what kind of performance he had there.
But I do kind of feel like now that the title stuff is out of the way, maybe I can sort of focus on what they're going for.
Jay White's match against Okada in the G1 last year was really good. I remember watching that where he won. That was really good.
I think
so. I guess if you take the G1 match, that's Okada versus Jay White, seemingly evenly matched. Jay White picks up the win. At Wrestle Kingdom, it's Okada reborn.
Yeah,
remember he was reborn.
Sure. Yeah.
So he's going out there, chip on his shoulder. He's reborn. He has the upper hand for the most part of the match. I'm just trying to think of the overall narrative of their three matches. But makes one mistake, eats a Blade Runner, loses. Mm-hmm. And then here, he's coming back. Okay, I've gathered that experience. Because Jay White tried to hit a Blade Runner in this match.
Yeah.
Did he? I don't think he got one off. Or did he get one off and did Okada get his foot in the ropes?
Didn't he get one off, but Jay White couldn't cover him?
Yes, that's what it was. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's what it was. And so now Okada's trying not to repeat the mistakes he made previously. Because the Wrestle Kingdom match was two things. It was he would have the upper hand, but then Gato would get involved.
Yeah.
And distract him from,
And in this one, he was taking out Gato left and right. Like he did the thing where he jumps over the barricade.
Took them both out, yeah.
Took them both out, yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So if you look at it from the storytelling across the three matches, Wrestle Kingdom match, if you isolate it, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But in the span of the whole story they're telling, I can see why it went the way it went.
Yeah.
In the end, Okada won, though. He's the absolute best.
He is the best. He is totally the best new IWGP champion.
He hit 2 Rainmakers, tombstone Jay White, and him with another Rainmaker to pick up the win.
The finish, Okada finishes are always the best. They're the most fun things to watch.
I can't think of any other wrestler right now working that the finishes to their matches are consistently the most dramatic damn thing in the entire industry.
It sets the bar so high that I get disappointed in other matches because they're not like this.
I mean, remember, what was the best match at All In? Okada and Skrull.
Oh, my God, Okada and Skrull, yeah.
Because the story they were telling was amazing.
Yeah.
It was all about Marty trying to prove that I'm just not another little guy, essentially. You talking trash saying I should be on 205 Live? No way. Here, let me show you.
What a great build.
God, that was so good.
Yeah.
So Marty was going there trying to do all the power moves he could to show Okada, I'm not. You said I'm this. I am not this. Let me show you now.
Yeah.
God, that was so good.
Yeah. But I just kind of feel like I can maybe try to appreciate Jay
Definitely.
White.
And when we first saw that Jay White was Switchblade, we were both kind of like, well, that's kind of an odd fit.
Yeah.
And then through the following year, he grew on us. Mm-hmm. He started to inhabit the character more and more. And like the visual of him in his nice suit with his sunglasses on doing promos is great.
So like obviously I wasn't watching at the time, but I know Naito had the IWGP Heavyweight Championship before he dropped it, and then became kind of the Naito that we know now.
Yeah.
I wonder if is there at all like a pattern historically?
Well, during commentary they mentioned this. They mentioned the parallels between Jay White winning the title when he did it and Okada winning the title for the very first time, because the parallels are similar. It was Jay White going to Tanahashi at New Year's Dash, saying, I want the title, winning at New Beginning. Same thing with Okada in 2012 or 2013 when it happened. So they were drawing those parallels pretty clearly.
Yeah.
So whether that means Jay White will start to go on a dominant run of his own, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if Okada dropped the belt shortly thereafter back to Tanahashi. Yeah. I'm not sure. I suppose I can hop on the Google machine and check.
Yeah, you don't have to.
I'm just curious.
But it is kind of interesting. Again, I really wish I did. I had more discipline to watch more New Japan.
Oh, okay. So Tanahashi got it Wrestle Kingdom 2011, and then New Beginning the following year. Okada beat him, and then Tanahashi got it back at Dominion in June. Only for Okada to get it back to him back from him the following year. So Okada's first reign was relatively short compared to all his other reigns.
Yeah.
125 days, and I guess Jay White's had it since February, so
I should say
2 months.
How long his reign was?
54 days.
Yeah.
And Okada's first reign was 125. So that's interesting. So maybe they're trying to draw some parallels between Jay White's early burgeoning career and Okada's.
Yeah.
It's
so it'll be interesting to see where they go from here. I have faith.
Yes.
And yeah, even them, I mean, even New Japan losing the Elite, obviously that's
huge.
A big deal.
It really is, yeah.
I mean, it's I don't it's funny because Ring of Honor needed the Elite for the depth that they sort of gave. New Japan, I mean, they had such huge stars in the Elite, but God, they've got stars up and down the card.
They really do.
They have so many freaking stars there, man.
Yep.
Boy, that's so good. Yeah, I don't know. Kind of gets me jazzed to watch New Japan.
Oh, definitely.
And it gets me interested to see exactly what the hell Ring of Honor is doing. Because it could be really bad, or maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Anyways, we don't even have time for questions. That was a really long show.
That was. So we almost gave the people a full recap of G1 Supercard.
I know. Anyways, thanks everybody for watching. We appreciate it. Until next time, we'll talk to you guys later.
Goodbye.